Hey dudes and girls, this is Brandon White with the Buff Dudes, and joining us today is Amanda. She's a legitimate buff girl.
Hey.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
We're gonna be doing a shoulder workout today. Let's do it. Okay, we're ready for the shoulder workout. The first two exercises on the list are gonna be the alternating Arnold press seated, and then it's gonna be supersetted with the reverse fly on the band. So we're gonna start off seated here. And we're gonna do the alternating Arnold press. So what this one is, go ahead and grab those weights. You're gonna start with some 15s. Rep range is gonna be 15 reps. Pushing upward, and with this one, we're gonna be alternating. So we're gonna go one side first, yeah, and then back down, and then right into the next side. So a good thing about Arnold press is gonna be starting off the anterior deltoid. It's gonna be putting a little bit more stress on there, but once it starts to rotate, it's gonna be involving a little bit of the lateral head and also the posterior deltoid for that stabilization. And move on to the reverse band flies. So we're gonna hit a little bit more and isolate those posterior deltoids. Perfect, good. So this is gonna be isolating these rear delts just here. Very key point here is if you start noticing other muscles starting to contract throughout the motion, you know you're too heavy because you're trying to compensate for a heavier weight. So other muscles will start working to help out throughout that motion. So here, just trying to isolate these smaller muscle groups back here, the posterior delts. So just keeping a little bit lighter, keeping that good form, and getting that full range of motion. Next on the list is going to be the front to lateral raise. Now this is an isolation exercise. Of course, we started out with more of a compound with the Arnold press. Now we're moving on to just the isolations. So it's going to be a pairing, a combination of movements. So we're going to go to the front and then right to the lateral here. So it's going to be more of the anterior delt on the first portion. You're going to bring it down and then right into the lateral portion for the lateral raise. Absolutely. So we're going to target those and we're going to get 10 reps.
And again with this comes up to shoulder level. Don't go above it because then you're going to be working your traps again. We want to try and keep our arms pretty straight so that the move stays focused in our shoulders. And if you can't keep your arm pretty straight, another good indication that maybe you should go down in weight.
Now we're moving on to the standing unilateral shoulder press right into the windmill. So now we're gonna go through this exercise because a lot of people maybe not know what windmills are, but they do know what shoulder press is. And this is gonna be unilateral, meaning one side at a time. So she can get a nice wide stance, a really good base of support, wider than the shoulder. Her legs are gonna be locked, like in a standard overhead press. And then she can bring that dumbbell up to her shoulder here, and then press straight up through that deltoid, and then she can take this hand and she's gonna bend, pushing that hip outward and gliding that hand down here, and it's going to put that stress right into the oblique and also a lot of stabilizer muscle in the shoulder. So we're getting a lot of muscles worked here. And then she's going to go up, bring it back down, press straight up, glide down that leg. Yep, shoulder stabilizing this motion because what happens is having that weight held above, the center of gravity is now rising upwards. So it's going to take a lot more stability muscles in the core, but now in the shoulder too, because it's also having to hold that weight above throughout the motion. We're going to go on to the alternating upright rows. We're going to do it with the dumbbells. So yep, nice base support of the feet. You're going to bring one side up, get that nice squeeze in that delt, and then the next side. So upright rows, they're a controversial workout. Do you do upright rows?
Why are they controversial?
I'll tell you, do you do them?
I do them.
Oh, she does them.
Very, very carefully.
Well, yes, they can be dangerous if you do them improperly, like any exercise. So just gotta be careful. You wanna get that nice slow movement. You wanna take it light. You wanna bring your elbow up. And you want to keep close to your body. You don't want to swing too wide or anything like that. You want to keep in that nice range of motion. But yeah, dumbbells will make sure you're keeping it in the position that's most comfortable for you. So we're going to be targeting pretty much the whole deltoid in this, a little bit in the trap because you are bringing it pretty high up. Now, if you bring it high, like Amanda's doing here, her elbow's pretty high. Now, if you have any impingements in the shoulder, what you want to do is just bring it a little less. So you're going to stop about there. So it's only really going to be coming about parallel to the floor. And that's going to be working less of the trap. So if you bring it really high, just like a lateral raise, if you bring it really high, the trap's going to start taking over after you go past parallel. Up next, last on the list, is going to be face pulls supersetted with bent over reverse flies. So the face pulls, this is going to be a double action in the rear deltoids. The face pulls are going to be a compound movement. It's going to be concentrating on the posterior delts, but it's also going to be hitting the trapezius and a little bit more of the upper back muscles. The good thing about this is you can go nice and heavy with it, you can really get the activation of the posterior delts, and then we're going to immediately superset it with bent over reverse flies, which is going to be really isolating the posterior delts. The posterior delts are an amazing muscle, but they don't really get worked a lot unless you're doing some back-based stuff, but even then, the back's doing most of the work, and the posterior shoulder's not gonna be doing a lot other than just helping out a little bit. So we're gonna be isolating those. Start now with a big compound movement with the face pull. So you're gonna be grabbing here, and the hand placement in this one, it can either be thumbs facing forward or thumbs facing back. It's kind of personal preference, what's most comfortable for you. But you're gonna take a nice step back. Let's get a little staggered stance too. Getting a staggered stance is gonna help that base support because the cable is going to be wanting to pull you forward. Now it depends, you can do feet together, but you're going to have to activate that core a lot more. So with the staggered stance here, it's going to be able to concentrate a little bit more on the movement rather than the balance. Yep. So you pull it really high on her face here, hence the name face pulls. The elbows are going to be coming back, the hands are going to be coming above the elbows, and that's really going to be contracting those rear delts and the traps as well. Yep. And we're going to immediately go on to the bent over reverse flies. Now with this one, you want to take it nice and light. She's going to come all the way bending over. Now you do want to, a good rule of thumb is you want to keep your back straight throughout every motion. With this one, it can slightly be bent because you're going so light, you're not really concentrating on how straight your back is. You're really concentrating on getting that nice parallel motion to the floor, so that way when you bring those weights all the way back, you're doing the fuller range of motion through here. And with this one, we're going to get a slight turn down in the thumbs. It's going to lift her elbows up slightly, and it's going to get more contraction in those posterior delts here. You'll see some women, or even dudes, for sure a lot of dudes, they'll bring this weight back, and their elbows will come back, and what that's doing is contracting more of the lats here. So let's show them what it looks like if you get it wrong. So let's bring it back. Yeah. So she brings it back, and then there we go. Yeah. So then all of a sudden the lats start to take over. So what you want to do, bring it a little bit wider now. There we go. Once you bring it outward to the body, that's really going to be contracting this posterior delts, and that's what you want out of this exercise right here.
All right, dudes and girls, that wraps up the shoulder workout, and big thanks to bikini competitor Amanda for letting us put her through a true buff girl workout. Let us know if you want to see more women's workouts, and if so, what kind. Stay buff and see you next time.